This video and all content on this channel is performed by a pest control professional, and it is always recommended to hire a pest control pro in your area to perform any pest control in or outside your home. Pesticides can harm you and your loved ones. Anyone who is performing the information in this video is doing so at their own risk. If you decide to try the info provided in this video, please always check with the local laws in your area and read the labels of any product you use. The label is the law. Hey everybody, this is Jason Akers again with Green Acres Pest Control, and today I want to talk about bed bugs. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, consider subscribing to the channel. But this actually is a video that's I've done a couple videos like this already in the past, but this has come about because of the recent news story out of Amarillo, Texas. So in Texas, there was an Amazon distribution center that was forced to shut down because of a bed bug outbreak. Now, how is this possible? This is the Amazon, the same Amazon that I recommend people go and buy Crossfire through, has got a bed bug outbreak at the Amazon Center. So what does this mean for people who order through Amazon? What does this mean or people that order through any distribution center? Does this mean any distribution center can get bed bugs? Does this mean your grocery store can get bed bugs? Does this mean that they can, pretty much be anywhere? Well, yeah, I've been saying that for years. Bed bugs can be anywhere people are because people transport bed bugs. That's the thing. And so what happens is the bed bugs will get on you from other people. So if you have a friend, for example, come and visit your house who has bed bugs in their home, and then they sit down on your couch, bed bugs may crawl out of their pocket and get in your house. Now you have bed bugs on your sofa, and then you'll transport them to your bedroom, or they'll walk back there themselves. And so this is how you get bed bugs. So if someone with bed bugs works at an Amazon fulfillment center and they go to Amazon to work, and they have bed bugs on their clothes, then the bed bugs can crawl off of them, and then they'll end up getting into the Amazon distribution center. So this is how, because the bed bugs have spread so bad, because they've infiltrated pretty much everywhere else, it just makes sense that they would be in a distribution center. I had a certain store that I went to where a lady had actually infested the shoe section of with bed bugs. She sat down to try on a pair of shoes and ended up spreading bed bugs to that store. That store had to close down for a couple days while they were treating for bed bugs. I've gone into, in fact, public libraries. Public libraries close down for them all the time because people will go in and they'll check out a book. They take the book home, read it in bed. Bed bugs get in the book. They take the book back to the library. Library gets infested with bed bugs. Bed bugs can be literally anywhere. And it makes you feel like as a person that you can't go anywhere without the fear of being infested with bed bugs. You can't. I've worked for a lady a few years ago where she picked them up. It was Valentine's Day weekend. Okay, her and her boyfriend were going to do a romantic outing. They went out to watch a video at the movie theater. They went to the movie theater and they were watching the movie, and they picked them up at the movie theater, sitting down in a movie theater chair. You can't really do much of anything anymore, including ordering packages from Amazon, without worrying about the fear of bringing bed bugs into your home. And these are packages being delivered right into your house. You they bring them, they put them on your front porch. You're like, oh boy, it's an Amazon package. You bring it in the house, you open it up, and there's bed bugs inside. And you may not even see the bed bugs before you get infested in your own home. That's the threat. That's the problem. Okay, so why is this an issue? Let's talk about why, all of these places are getting bed bugs, and let's talk about how we can prevent this problem. So, for those that don't know, I'm actually a licensed pest control technician in the state of Virginia. I've been licensed since I was 17 years old. I had to do a year apprenticeship. I had to do all that stuff to get my training and licensing, and I constantly read and research every year. I have to go every 2 years and get recertified all the time, and so this is just something I have to do. I have to constantly keep myself educated on bugs. It's the only way I can keep my license in Virginia. And there is a new certification that Virginia is requiring for technicians to have called it's the health professional certification. And so what it does is it allows you to treat for bugs that are a health problem, like ticks or mosquitoes, things like that. So they, in this book, this big book, it's a big book, like that thick, full of information about mosquitoes and ticks and fleas and rats and mice and roaches and all kinds of health damaging insects and critters and stuff like that. And so in the very front of the book, they have a brand new little insert. It's like a little piece postcard information that they put in the very front of the book, and it says it talks about bed bugs, and it talks about how they don't really spread disease, but people are still very much concerned with bed bug infested places and the bed bug problem. And it goes over the reasoning that they give for why bed bugs have become such a severe problem and why they're spreading into all these places that bed bugs really shouldn't be, but because people are there, the bed bugs are there. And the thing is starting in the year like 2000. All right, and I've been an exterminator since the 90s. I've been, as far as licensed, I've been licensed since the 90s. But when we got into the 2000s, like 2004, 2007, around that time, they started with this new type of a jargon for the pest control industry called IPM, which stands for Integrated Pest Management. And, by reading the definition of integrated pest management, it sounds really good. It's like, oh yeah, well, of course, that's what you do. That's how you get rid of bugs. That makes sense, and all. But really, it's about using less pesticide. A lot of exterminators don't even do preventative pest control indoors anymore unless you have a problem. They don't even come in your house. Like, for example, if you've got an issue with spiders, all right, and the spiders are all around the outside of your house and everything, well, they don't come inside because spiders are mostly an outside critter, so they don't even come in the house and spray. They don't treat your baseboards. They don't treat around your windows or your doors or anything like that to try to keep the bugs out. They just treat the outside and figure, well, if we get rid of them on the outside of the house, they won't have them inside the house. And that sounds great. And they're like, well, we can't have people being exposed or overexposed to pesticides. It's not good for people. And this is what we're going to do. This is it all sounds great on the surface. It's like, okay, this is fantastic. We're going to use less pesticides, less chemical exposure to children and pets and people, and this is going to be so much safer, and we'll get rid of the bugs and we won't have bugs either. But the problem is that people haven't been treating inside the home preventatively. Now, if you have a spider problem and your exterminator comes out and sprays your house on the outside and gets rid of your spiders, well, that's great, okay? But the problem is a lot of these pesticides, so pesticides are more universal. They don't just kill spiders. They're also for things like ants and crickets and silverfish and bed bugs, okay? Now, bed bugs don't come from outside. They come from other people. They come from you bringing them in your home. This is how you get bed bugs. If you don't treat the inside of your house on a preventative basis, then you run the risk of getting these types of bugs, like bed bugs or cockroaches, because these come from other people, from visitors in your home, from you bringing them in, from Amazon. Or your movie theater. Maybe you're going to go out on a date coming up here in Christmas or something, or Thanksgiving, and you go out to a nice restaurant that's filled with a whole bunch of other people that have bed bugs, and then you bring them home. This is the problem. You haven't treated inside your home preventatively for bugs. And this is what the Virginia State says in their book. They blame the outbreak of bed bugs primarily on the absence of internal pest control in the home, of not using pesticides in the home like they used to before, like the millennium, before the year 2000. That's what we used to do. That's the kind of training I have. I'm a baseboard jockey. I wear the badge proudly. I treat the inside of homes. My customers always ask, well, what are we going to do for the money that you charge? And I say, I'm going to do as much as you'll let me do. And the reason I say that is because people are picky. They won't let you treat inside their house anymore. They've been led by the industry to believe that chemicals are going to kill them, that they're harmful, that they're going to harm their children, that they're going to harm their pets. And that may have been true 20 years ago. But pesticides have made, the pesticide industry, Bayer, Dow, Syngenta, all these companies, they have made huge progress. Leaps and bounds above any other pesticides that I've ever used in my entire career, that these companies have been able to produce that are so safe. They're so safe, and they're not going to hurt you. You can use them, like Crossfire, for example. Crossfire is what I recommend for the control of bed bugs. It is one of the safest pesticides that has ever been released on the market. So safe that it can be used to treat those beds. If you've got bed bugs on them, treat the mattresses. It's so incredibly safe. And most pesticides are nowadays. A lot of what they consider dangerous pesticides are not even used inside anymore. Most of them have changed their label to the point where they don't even use them in the home. They use them outside where they're not going to harm you at all. And this is what I'm trying to get at is by convincing the general population that pesticides and chemicals are dangerous, and it's just all propaganda. It's not true. It's designed to terrify you so that you won't treat the inside of your home, and then you end up getting bed bugs and roaches and all kinds of other problems that could have been easily prevented. I service a lot of rental homes. I service a lot of Airbnbs and VRBOs and just in general places that people visit for vacationing and stuff. And I have a house that I treat in Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia. It's in Bedford County. I've been treating the house since I was a child. I've known the lady since I was probably 10, 11, 12 years old. I'm 41 nearly now. And I've been doing her house for years, nearly 30 years I've been treating her house. And she has had bed bugs. She has had people come and rent her home and brought bed bugs into her home. But the bed bugs don't live very long because the house has been preventatively treated for bugs. She gets ants. This is one of the problems. This is why I treat her home. The pesticide that I use for ants inside her home is called Alpine WSG. It is also labeled for the control of bed bugs. It's a residual pesticide that lasts for 30 to 60 days indoors, and you can treat baseboards, cracks, and crevices all around inside the house. Now, this is a pesticide that has bed bugs on the label. So if she has a potential, person come in her house that brings bed bugs in their luggage, and they put the suitcase down on the floor, and the bed bugs crawl off of the suitcase, and they crawl to the baseboards, or they crawl around the edge of the bed, they get into a pesticide residue, and they die. So the house does not get infested when she rents it to her next tenant, because like during the summer when everybody wants to visit the lake, everybody wants to go on vacation and jump in the lake, they don't have to worry about taking bed bugs home with them, because if anybody prior has brought them in, they die. They don't build up a population in the home and spread to other people's homes, because prevention is the key. Nobody's practicing this anymore. We need to get back into the routine. And remember, why did we do preventative pest control in the first place? Because we don't want bugs living inside our homes. We don't want them living around our children. You know what's harmful, more harmful than pesticides? Black widow bites. You know, I do daycares. I service daycares, and you know, the one I'm thinking right off the bat, the very first day I went out and treated the daycare, I found black widow spiders living inside the daycare. Now, you take your child to daycare and your child gets bit by a black widow spider, you get a call at work that your child is in the hospital for a black widow bite. That's not something you want as a parent. No parent is going to get called and say, guess what type of pesticide your child's been exposed to at daycare. That's not going to be the call. The call is going to be, guess what your child got bit by today. Guess what your child has brought home in their backpack. You know, schools are really bad. Schools are a bad place for children to get bed bugs and cockroaches and bring them home in their backpacks, because the schools aren't being properly treated. Most of the schools are practicing this new IPM strategy. They're not treating inside the schools unless a problem arises, and there's no prevention. There's no prevention being provided. And this is a serious issue. It's so serious that they're teaching technicians. I guess they're trying to backpedal, and they're trying to go back to the way it was back in the 80s and 90s, where we treated inside homes, because they're putting it right in the Virginia State Manual and explaining that this is why this problem exists. This is why the bed bugs have spread. This is why people are having this problem, because no one's practicing prevention. So that leads me on to my last thing I want to talk about is prevention. So this is how you can eliminate this problem. Now, if you haven't had bed bugs before and you don't want to get bed bugs, then, or you have had bed bugs before and you've eliminated them and you want to try to avoid getting them again, you need to treat your house. If your pest control technician won't do it, you need to call somebody who will, or you need to do it yourself. The pesticides that I mentioned over on my Amazon, they're on my Amazon page. I have it there so you can find them really easy. Alpine WSG, Crossfire. I wouldn't worry about so much as using Crossfire. Crossfire is what I recommend for an active infestation of bed bugs, not so much a prevention. But because it's expensive and there's really no reason to use it preventatively. The houses that I do preventatively, I just use Alpine, and the bugs don't really get a foothold. Bed bugs do have a minor resistance to Alpine WSG now, because a lot of people do use it. But as far as, just preventatively, it does a pretty good job. And so that's what I recommend. Now, not PT Alpine, but actually Alpine WSG. It's a water-soluble granule. You have to mix it yourself into a gallon sprayer, and then you can treat your home around your baseboards, cracks and crevices. And it's a really, really effective preventative pesticide. That's what I recommend. And if you are the type of person that gets bed bugs, then you can go around after you've treated all your baseboards and everything. You can actually treat up underneath the box spring and stuff like that, so that the bed bugs, if they do get in your house and they crawl up on your bed and they try to get on your box spring, you can treat it with Alpine. Now, you can't treat your mattress with Alpine, but you can treat your box spring with it, and that's what I do for all of my rental homes. And not a single one of my rental homes or Airbnbs or whatever, none of them have bed bugs. They've gotten them in the past, but they never are able to build a foothold in the home. So hopefully this video has explained the dangers of Amazon, and we can't treat the Amazon building. I mean, I know they've gotten pest control to go in there and treat the bed bug problem. We can't do that ourselves. We can't go in an Amazon building and spray pesticides, but if you want to still order Amazon, it's not unsafe. It's not a thing you can't do. You can use Amazon Prime. You can do, Walmart.com. You can order from these distribution centers. You don't have to worry about bringing bed bugs in your home, because if you practice preventative pest control, prevention is the key. If you're practicing prevention, then you don't have to worry about getting bed bugs in your house. It's absolutely effective. It's the most effective way at ensuring that you don't get a bed bug problem or a roach problem or spider problem. People have brought spiders in Amazon boxes before into their home. So don't just think that it's strictly bed bugs only. In fact, back when Amazon had gotten away from doing books. Well, I mean, they still do books, but this was like when they were moving into the retail type, center kind of thing. They were offering this delivery service where you could get your packages next day delivery and stuff like that. And there was this guy, funny enough, that actually lived at Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia, and he used to work for Amazon. And the Amazon, the way it worked was that, like, if you ordered something like a car charger or a USB cord or, something that got ordered all the time, that people got all the time, he had a kitchen table in his kitchen, right there, like is an eating kitchen. So the kitchen was had a kitchen table in it, and that was the only place he had to put all these boxes. So he was basically a mini warehouse for Amazon. And so if you went on Amazon.com and you ordered, a car charger, and you were local to like where I live in Virginia, he'd go out and he'd ship it and it'd come to your house the very next day, because that was his job. That's what he did. And he helped, work for Amazon. He hired me because he had a cockroach problem. And he was worried that the cockroaches were going to get into his Amazon boxes and cause him to lose his job. So, think about that. Think about that when you're ordering, Amazon, is that you can bring anything in your house at any time. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's Amazon. I know Amazon's getting hit pretty hard over this bed bug problem because, it just happened. It was just in September. Right now it's October, 11th, 12th, something like that. It hadn't been long, just a couple weeks since this story broke. And it's just, it's not just Amazon. It's not just Amazon. It's anywhere. You could get bed bugs or cockroaches or, you could get these bugs from anywhere. So hopefully this video doesn't scare you too bad, that it teaches you the proper way to, to keep these bugs away. Prevention is the key. If I haven't said it enough, prevention is the key. You need to preventatively treat your home for bugs, and this will help with lots of bugs, not just cockroaches, not just bed bugs, but it will also kill ants. It will keep spiders out of your home. It will keep fleas out of your home. It will keep lots of bugs out of your home, and we can go back to living the way we used to without bugs in our home. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget, I live stream every Thursday night. I'll answer your questions. You can call me on the phone and I'll pick up and we'll talk about bugs. If you need a question answered right away, don't forget, leave a comment below. I'll read all my comments and I try to answer as many of them as I possibly can. So y'all have a real great day. I appreciate it, and we'll talk next time. Thanks a lot.